When you stop chasing a woman, something changes quickly. Most men don't realize it, but the moment you stop trying so hard, her mind starts working in ways you can't see. Women are emotional thinkers. They don't just notice your silence, they analyze it, they compare it, they question it, they feel it, and what she feels becomes more powerful than anything you could ever say. Chasing kills attraction because it removes mystery. It shows her she has all your attention, all your effort, all your emotional investment without having to earn it. When a woman knows she can have you anytime she wants, she never has to wonder about you. And if she never wonders about you, she never misses you. Women don't miss men who are always available. They miss the man who suddenly becomes unpredictable. So the moment you stop chasing, when you stop calling, texting, seeking validation, or trying to win her over, her brain enters a different mode: curiosity, confusion, then attraction. Even if she wasn't interested before, even if she acted like she didn't care, even if she thought she had control. Because here's the truth: women don't think about the men they already have, they think about the men they might be losing. When you stop chasing, her mind starts asking questions. Why isn't he trying anymore? Did he lose interest? Is there someone else? Was he never that invested? What changed? Those questions create emotion. Emotion creates attachment. Attachment creates attraction. She won't admit this out loud. She might act calm, unbothered, or even colder than before. Some women even pretend they're the ones pulling away. But behind that attitude, she's paying attention. She notices your silence. She notices your distance. She notices that the man who once wanted her isn't trying anymore. And that sits in her mind because women expect attention. They're used to men chasing, proving themselves, doing the most. So when you don't, you stand out. You become rare. You become a challenge. And challenges get remembered. This video isn't about playing games, being manipulative, or pretending not to care. It's about self-respect, discipline, and emotional strength. When you stop chasing, you show you have control over your feelings. You show you're not desperate. You show you're a man who chooses, not a man who begs. Tonight, you'll learn exactly what goes on inside a woman's mind when you stop chasing. The thoughts, the reactions, the emotional shifts, the jealousy, the curiosity, the regret. And by the time you finish this, you'll understand how powerful your silence really is. 1. Why did he stop trying? The very first thought a woman has when you stop chasing her is simple. Why did he stop? Women notice everything, especially changes in a man's behavior. If you used to text first, compliment her, show interest, or check in consistently, and suddenly you don't, her mind reacts immediately. Even if she pretends not to care, she feels the shift. At first, she assumes it's temporary. Maybe you're busy, maybe you forgot, maybe you'll come back in a day or two. But the longer your silence continues, the harder the question hits her. That's when curiosity turns into confusion. Women are used to men showing interest. They're used to attention coming naturally. So, when you stop trying, you break the pattern. And when you break the pattern, her brain starts analyzing. She wonders, did she do something wrong? Did she push too far? Did she lose her chance? Was she not as special as she thought? Whether she liked you a little or a lot? The silence forces her to evaluate. Most men don't understand how powerful that moment is. The moment she starts questioning herself, you shift the dynamic. You're no longer the pursuer. She becomes the one paying attention. This reversal is psychological. People only question when something valuable changes. If she didn't care at all, she wouldn't think twice. But when she notices a difference, it means your presence mattered more than she admitted. Here's the part men underestimate. Women replay interactions. They think back on conversations, texts, dates, things they said, and moments that seemed small but suddenly feel important. She may start scrolling through old messages, checking your social media, or asking mutual friends about you. Even if she says nothing, the silence is working. And here's what makes this thought powerful. It challenges her ego. Women like knowing they are desired. Attention confirms value. When you stop giving that attention, she feels the absence, not because she's in love with you, but because she's no longer in control of the situation. At this stage, she isn't chasing you yet. She's trying to understand. She's trying to figure out why you stopped caring. She expected you to keep trying, yet you didn't. That confusion alone makes you stand out from other men. This is where most guys ruin everything. They break the silence too fast. They message her again, explain themselves, or try to win her back. The moment you do that, you confirm her assumption. You were waiting on her, and the power shifts right back to her side. But if you remain calm and consistent, no chasing, no emotional reaction, no desperate check-ins, that question in her mind only gets louder. Why isn't he trying anymore? And once that thought starts, it doesn't stop. 2. Did he lose interest in me? Once the confusion settles in, her mind shifts to something deeper. Maybe he's not interested anymore. That thought hits her ego. Women are used to being wanted. They're used to attention. They're used to feeling chosen. When you stop chasing, it forces her to face the possibility that she no longer has influence over you. And that stings. At first, she'll act unbothered. She'll post normal pictures, laugh in her stories, live her life like nothing changed. But internally, she's running through possibilities. Did she push too far? Maybe she wasn't as responsive as she should have been. Maybe she played too hard to get. Maybe she assumed you would always try. Women know when they've been distant or cold. They know when they took advantage of your effort. So when you stop, it makes her realize she may have miscalculated. Men rarely stop chasing on their own, so she assumes something changed on your side. Did you meet someone else? This is a thought she won't admit, but she'll feel it if you have the confidence to pull back. Maybe another woman is showing you more interest. Maybe someone else is giving you the appreciation she didn't. That idea alone can shake her. Women compare themselves constantly, even to women they haven't met. If she thinks another woman replaced her attention, her desire to have your attention doubles, not because of love, but because of instinct. Losing something triggers value. Did she misjudge you? This is important. When a woman believes she has a man figured out, she relaxes. She assumes she knows how you think and how you feel, but when you stop chasing, you break the image she created. Suddenly, you're not predictable. You're not safe. She doesn't know where she stands. That uncertainty triggers attraction. A man who can walk away becomes 10 times more interesting than a man who stays no matter how he's treated. And here's where the shift begins. She starts checking for signs that you still care. Does he watch my stories? Did he like my last post? Is he texting someone else? Why is he online but not replying? She'll pretend she doesn't care, but every quiet action you take affects her. Your silence becomes louder than anything you ever said. She might start giving small signals, liking your photo, responding faster than before, sending a random message just to see if you'll bite. But if you stay calm, controlled, and unbothered, the thought keeps growing. I think he doesn't want me anymore. And that's the moment she starts wanting you more. Because women don't chase men who chase them. They chase the men who could leave and be perfectly fine. 3. Was he actually different from other men? 500 words. After she wonders whether you lost interest, her mind goes somewhere even more powerful. Maybe he wasn't like the others after all. Women are used to attention. They're used to men chasing, insisting, trying again, trying harder, refusing to take the hint. Most guys don't walk away. Most guys don't control their emotions. Most guys try to convince her, impress her, or win her back. So, when you stop chasing, you separate yourself from the crowd without saying a word. At first, she might have believed she understood you. He likes me. He'll keep trying. He'll be there when I'm ready. But when the chasing stops, she realizes she was wrong. And that realization changes how she sees you. Suddenly, you're not predictable anymore. You have standards. You have self-control. You're not desperate for her attention. That alone makes you more attractive than 95% of men she's ever interacted with. This is where curiosity turns into respect. A woman respects the man who can walk away more than the one who refuses to. She begins reconsidering everything. Maybe you were more confident than she thought. Maybe you weren't attached the way she assumed. Maybe you were evaluating her the whole time. Remember this: when you stop chasing, you force her to question her own value in the interaction, and the moment she questions herself, her emotions activate. Women don't chase men they fully understand. They chase the men they cannot figure out. Now her mind starts replaying. Why was he calm when I pulled away? Why didn't he get emotional? How did he walk so easily? Was he talking to other girls this whole time? Your silence becomes a mystery. Mystery becomes attraction. Attraction becomes attachment. She might even start comparing you to other men in her life. The guy who texts her constantly, the guy who begs for a reply, the guy who gets upset when she doesn't respond. And then there's you, the one who disappeared without drama. There's something powerful about a man who never loses his dignity. She expected you to try harder. She expected you to question her. She expected you to need her attention. You didn't. And now she sees what you were all along, not a man chasing her, but a man she has to earn. This is where she starts feeling the shift internally. You're no longer a pursuer, you've become a challenge, not because you played games, but because you showed emotional strength. When a woman realizes a man is different, she thinks about him more. And when she thinks more, she starts to miss him. 4. Did he find someone better? This is the thought she won't say out loud, but it hits harder than all the others. When you stop chasing, a woman eventually wonders if another woman replaced her spot in your life, even if she acted like she didn't care, even if she was distant, even if she thought she had options. The idea that you might be giving your attention to someone else triggers a real emotional reaction. Why? Because women compete in silence, not publicly, not directly, but internally. When a woman feels like she's losing a man to another woman, something wakes up inside her that wasn't active before. Urgency. At first, she tells herself, "You're just busy." But when the silence continues, no messages, no reactions, no effort, her mind starts creating scenarios. He must be talking to someone else. Maybe another girl appreciates him more. Was another woman giving him the attention I didn't? What if he's happier somewhere else? This is where the shift becomes emotional instead of logical. Women lose interest in men they feel they own. Women chase the men they feel they could lose. Your lack of effort makes her wonder if someone else now gets the attention she used to have. That's when jealousy enters her mind. Not loud, not dramatic, but quietly. She starts paying closer attention. Your social media activity, who likes your posts, who you follow, who comments on your pictures, whether you seem happier than before. She may not say a word, but she watches. If she sees you improving your appearance, leveling up your lifestyle, or enjoying yourself socially, it strengthens the idea that another woman might be involved. You don't have to post anything romantic. Just looking unbothered and confident is enough. And here's the secret. Women don't want a man no one wants. They want the man other women notice, but he does not need them. If another woman could be in your life, it forces her to do what she avoided before. Compare herself. Am I losing him because I didn't try? Was that other woman smarter, prettier, nicer, more feminine? Why didn't he fight for me like other guys do? Did she see value in him faster than I did? That's when she starts feeling regret. Not because you left, but because someone else might be appreciating the version of you she ignored. When a woman feels she's being replaced, she almost always reappears, liking a story, messaging you, sending something by accident, or asking a random question just to check your temperature. She won't say she's jealous. She'll act casual, but that message didn't come from nowhere. This thought, did he find someone better, is the one that keeps her up at night. It's the thought that makes her want your attention back. And it only happens when you stop chasing and handle yourself like a man who knows his worth. 5. Maybe I misjudged his value. Once the idea of losing you sets in, her mind shifts towards something deeper. Regret. This is where she starts realizing she may have underestimated you. Maybe she thought you cared more than she did. Maybe she assumed you'd always be around. Maybe she believed she had time to decide, but when you stopped chasing, you silently showed her something she never considered. You were a man with options, confidence, and self-respect. Women judge men differently when the man shows he can walk away. At first, she only saw what she wanted, the guy texting her, complimenting her, trying to create something. She saw your effort, not your value. But when your effort disappears, she's forced to look at what she ignored. She asks herself, why wasn't I giving more effort? Why did I assume he'd stay? Was he actually a better man than I realized? What if I pushed away someone rare? Every woman knows how hard it is to find a man who is respectful, steady, confident, and emotionally strong. Good men do not chase forever, and she knows that when you walk away with dignity, she feels the loss. Not because you begged, but because you didn't. Here's the truth most men never hear. A woman respects the man she could lose more than the man she knows she controls. When you stop chasing, you show self-control. You show backbone. You show pride. And women don't forget a man like that. She starts remembering the good conversations, the effort you gave, the attention you showed, and the stability you brought. It hits her that not every man offers that. If you're improving, leveling up, and becoming more focused in your silence, that regret gets stronger. She realizes you didn't fall apart, you didn't beg, you didn't break, you got better, and now she has to confront a hard truth. You might be happier without her. That's when the ego moves out of the way and the emotions come forward. She starts missing the parts she took for granted. Your attention, your presence, your consistency, your kindness, your energy, your interest, your availability. Because once a woman loses access to a man she didn't value enough, she starts realizing how rare he was. This is where you start seeing small signs from her. Random messages, replies to old stories, likes on your posts. How have you been? I saw something that reminded me of you. These aren't random. They're the beginning of regret, trying to reopen a door she once left unlocked. When a woman believes she misjudged your value, her attitude toward you shifts. You're no longer just a guy who liked her. You're the man she should have appreciated. And that's when missing becomes real. 6. Why didn't he chase me like the others? This is the thought that actually bothers her the most. Women are used to attention, especially from men who are attracted to them. They expect chasing. They expect effort. They expect messages after they pull away. Most guys don't disappear quietly. Most guys try harder. Most guys beg for another chance. So when you don't chase, you break her sense of control. Now she's comparing you to every man she's dealt with before, every guy who double texted, every guy who showed desperation, every guy who tried to change her mind, every guy who couldn't handle space. But then there's you, the one who walked away with calmness, not anger, the one who didn't try to force anything, the one who didn't fall apart simply because she stopped responding. That stands out more than anything you could have said. A woman expects that if she takes her time, you'll wait. If she pulls back, you'll chase. If she gets distant, you'll try harder. But when you don't, her ego gets hit. She starts thinking, did he not like me as much as I thought? Was I not that special to him? Why isn't he trying to win me? Do I not have that kind of effect on him? Even women who had little interest still feel the shift because every woman wants to feel desired. Every woman wants to feel chosen. When you stop chasing, she loses that emotional comfort. She starts questioning herself instead of evaluating you. This is where attraction starts to reverse. Instead of seeing you as someone who wanted her, she starts seeing you as someone she wants attention from. Instead of being pursued, she becomes the pursuer in her own mind. Even if she hasn't reached out yet, she might tell her friends about you. He stopped talking to me. He just faded away. I don't know what happened. Those conversations are not about you. They're about the way your silence is affecting her. And here's the secret. If every man chases her and you don't, you become the exception. Women remember exceptions. A woman doesn't miss men who act like everyone else. She misses the man who changed the pattern. She misses the man who made her question her assumptions. She misses the man who didn't play by the script. Your silence becomes your strength. Your distance becomes your mystery. Your calmness becomes your attraction. She starts wondering if you found better. She starts wondering if you forgot her. She starts wondering if you never cared as much as she assumed. And the moment she starts wondering, really wondering, she begins to feel something she didn't expect. She wants to talk to you again because the men who chase her feel ordinary, but the man who didn't feels unforgettable. 7. Is he completely over me? Eventually, every woman reaches this final and most uncomfortable question. Is he done with me for good? This thought doesn't show up immediately. It shows up after your silence stays consistent, after she realizes you aren't coming back, and after her attempts to get your attention fail. Even if she acted like she didn't care, even if she was cold, even if she said she wasn't interested, once a woman believes a man truly moved on, everything changes. At first, she assumed you'd return. Then she thought you lost interest temporarily. Then she wondered if someone else took your attention. But when none of that brings you back, she starts thinking you might actually be over her. That's when the regret becomes real. Because a woman never misses a man she thinks she can still have. She only misses him when she realizes she might have lost him. This question hits her pride, her ego, and her emotions all at once. It forces her to look at her own actions. She remembers the moments she ignored you, the texts she answered slowly, the times she left you on scene, the effort she didn't return. Now she has to face the possibility that you won't give her another chance to correct it. Her mind starts replaying everything. He used to text me first. Now he doesn't. He used to check on me. Now he doesn't. He used to try. Now he's gone. It's not your silence that hurts her. It's the meaning behind it. Because silence can only mean two things. You stopped waiting or you outgrew her. Both are painful for her to accept. This is when she starts watching you more closely. You might not see it, but she's paying attention. Your pictures, who comments, who you spend time with, whether you seem happier, whether your life looks full without her. If you look like a man who healed and leveled up, it intensifies the fear that you moved on for real. She doesn't want to admit it, but seeing you unaffected makes her question her worth in your story. A woman never wants to be the one a good man moved on from, especially not quietly, especially not confidently, especially not permanently. So, she starts thinking about coming back, not because she's bored, but because she feels the loss. Life feels a little different without your attention. And the idea of you being gone forever, that's the thought that pulls her back. When she reaches the point of asking herself, is he over me? She is not thinking logically anymore. She's thinking emotionally. She wants another chance. She wants to feel wanted again. She wants to know if she still matters. And if a woman starts wondering whether you're permanently gone, it means she already misses you. When you stop chasing a woman, it does something most men never expect. It forces her to see you differently. You stop being the guy she assumed would stick around, and you become the man she might lose. That shift alone changes everything. Women don't feel urgency with guaranteed love. They feel urgency when the outcome becomes uncertain. The moment you pull back, her mind starts working. Why did he stop trying? Did he lose interest? Did he find someone better? Was he not as into me as I thought? Did I misjudge him? Those aren't random thoughts. They're emotional reactions. And emotional reactions lead to attachment. When you stop chasing, you break a pattern she expected. You show her you have self-control, confidence, and standards. You show her that your life doesn't revolve around her. You show her you are a man who can walk away calmly. Most men can't do that. Most men fall apart, beg or try harder, but you didn't. That's what makes you unforgettable. She remembers the attention you gave. She remembers the energy you brought. She remembers the stability of your presence. Only now she has to feel what life is like without it. If she took your effort for granted, she now sees its value. If she thought she had time, she now feels pressure. If she thought you'd always be there, she now feels uncertainty. Silence is powerful when it comes from self-respect, not anger. You didn't chase, you didn't argue, You didn't explain yourself. You just disappeared. From her emotional world, that's when missing begins. Not because you tried to make her miss you, but because you became the man she never expected to lose. And here's the real truth. If she truly cared, she will come back differently. Not for attention, not for validation, but with effort, respect, and intention. If she never cared, then walking away protected you from wasting time on someone who didn't value you. Either way, you win. You don't chase because chasing devalues a man. You don't beg because begging kills respect. You don't force someone to care. Your absence teaches what your presence once gave for free. A man with emotional control is rare. A man who can walk away is powerful. A man who respects himself becomes the man she remembers. So when you stop chasing, don't question yourself. You did what strong men do. You let silence speak for you. And if she ever asks herself, is he completely over me? She's already missing you more than she'll ever admit.